Hello, Chain Gang. Welcome back to the Four Chains Travel, and specifically our Four Chains in Mexico playlist. Now, our next trip to Mexico, we plan on hitting some cities that we have not hit before, as well as revisit some old favorites like Acamal and Puerto Morelos. But today we are back in Cancun, Mexico, beautiful Cancun, Mexico, to have the follow-up for Angie's dental surgery. So wait for that video. But this extremely long driveway that you are seeing is to the Hilton 5-star All-Inclusive. Now, prior to this trip, we have visited 29 resorts. But on this trip, we will visit number 30 and 31, and it will be different because the previous 29 have all been adults-only resorts, and we constantly get asked about family resorts. So both the Hilton 5-star All-Inclusive and the Dream Sands are family resorts. They were the two highest recommended ones on our social media feed, so we're going to compare and contrast. And we are starting with this long driveway and the entrance, and we are going to show you everything about the hotel, the rooms, the facilities, the pools, the jacuzzis, the gym, the extras, and we will do a standalone video where we will visit every single restaurant and every other option to get food and drinks other than the restaurant, so stay tuned for that. But today we're going to start with the hotel. We've heard a lot about this resort coming in, and we want to see whether all of those opinions are accurate.
Hello, Chain Gang. We are here at the Hilton Cancun All-Inclusive Resort, and we are staying in room 4039 this time. So let's take a look at what this room looks like. We have the tropical view. I'm having a little hard time getting, there you go, my bracelet to work. Okay, the first review is it's very sleek. Let's turn on some lights here. Okay, so as soon as you walk in the room over here on the left, there's a coffee station with some snacks. We will let you know. This should be all included because it's an all-inclusive, but there are coffee pods, a tea kettle, some water bottles. Here we have a mini fridge. So let's see how they set that up. Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, some juice, some beers, and more waters. Okay, then we've got some drawers for your clothing. The bathroom is here on the right. It's very modern, very sleek. There's one sink. We have some, looks like this is lotion here, and washcloths, some soap, a big mirror, hair dryer, and towels. And it looks like the shower and commode are separate entities. Here is obviously the commode section. Over here we have the shower. Okay. There's a rain head, I forgot, waterfall. And in the shower we have, let's see here. We have this, the shower gel, I'm sorry. There is some conditioner and shampoo. So those are all three here. It's called Persea. Smells good. Okay. Then it looks like there is a wardrobe here with a safe that you can program in your code, an ironing board, and it looks like you can have your laundry done. Alrighty. There is an adjoining door here. This is a family resort, so there are kids on the property. I think that probably a lot of the rooms have these doors because you've got maybe kids staying on the other side. This looks like a nice big bed that I cannot wait to collapse in tonight. We have some light fixtures here, a phone to call for your room service.
The room service is 24/7.
I don't see any USB ports. There are outlets there, so we will have to look into that. There's a shelf with the television. There's a nice table if you need to get any work done over here, and a very large floor-to-ceiling mirror. Ladies, if you're dressing up, and
Sorry, that's my fault. I'm not good at cameras, so I should be on the other side because all you saw was a black form there.
there's an alarm clock which will get unplugged here. Some more outlets. I don't see any USBs in this room. And then let's check out the view.
There's USBs right here.
And again, we have the quote tropical view. So basically that means you're looking at the jungle. There are crocodiles in here. When you pull into the resort itself, coming off of the main road, the mangroves are on either side of the street, and there are warnings about the wildlife, including the crocodiles.
We got a couple of chairs here on the
Yeah, we have a balcony. Let's see.
So you could chill.
That's nice. I always love to have a balcony. It's very warm, late afternoon here. But these look comfy, and I probably will like to have my coffee right here tomorrow morning. What else here?
That is the Waldorf Astoria. Well, actually, that's still the Hilton, but on the other side of that is the Waldorf Astoria. If you've seen from our top 5 hotels in Cancun video.
There's also a little sofa, well, actually like a love seat here on the left. Over here. Little love seat here. And an ottoman. So we don't know, we'll let you know if this is a quiet stay. We've heard that sometimes you can hear things from the other rooms. We will check back in about that maybe tomorrow. Hi everybody, welcome back. As we said, we are here at the Hilton Cancun All-Inclusive Resort. We are situated south of the hotel zone in Cancun and north of Puerto Morelos, almost equal distance between the two. We'll show it to you here on the map. So we want to give you a little recap of our day one. When you're coming in to the resort off the main road, it is a bit of a drive from the main road into the resort, which is on the beach. Once you arrive, the check-in can be quite lengthy. We had heard this from other people who had reviewed the resort, and that was certainly true for us. Jim, do you want to throw in anything about the check-in?
Yeah, so obviously, if you are a subscriber, you follow our channel, you know that we stay at a lot of hotels. We had heard that we had been told to make note of how long that it took to check in, and so we planned on that. But then when we walked in, I was astonished to see that there was only 2 couples ahead of us. And as soon as I got in line, the first couple left. So I don't know how long they were there. So after 1 minute, there was only 1 couple ahead of us. Now, I did notice that couple that finished up just as we arrived, it apologized to the couple behind them, and that was a harbinger of things to come. So I remembered that Angie had said she made notes for me to time the check-in process. So I hit the timer on my phone, and suffice it to say, it wound up taking 37 minutes and 14 seconds for us to get to the desk. This is not even including the check-in. Angie went out and filmed material, and maybe you're looking at that material now, I don't know. But she just kept coming back, and I still had not moved from the line. And the way that I got done with the line is there were 3 computers, 3 or 4 computers, but there was only 1 person working one of the computers. And there was another woman that was just she was standing to his right, and I later noticed that she had a name tag that said trainee. And when I say the 37-minute mark, and by the way, it seemed like 3 hours and 37 minutes. When you're just literally just standing there, maybe that doesn't sound like a lot of time to you, but I've been in situations, particularly in Vegas, where there are 50 couples ahead of us, and we've gotten through faster than that. So the woman that was standing to the guy's right, who was trying to check in the couple, she got the guy's attention and he went over to the computer to his right, and it seemed to be putting in a password. And then she walked over to that computer, and then she said, okay, can I help the person who's next? And I mean, I just instantly redlined because I was just like, wait a minute, you could have done this. Oh, the computer was down. But the computer wasn't down. She just needed a password and didn't ask for it. She struggled a little bit to check us in, but that was not a good start.
Okay, so when you're checking in, what you're going to get is one of these bracelets here.
Yes, this I like.
Yes, and it says Hilton on one side, and this bracelet gets you into your room. It serves as your room key. We're actually in a really quiet and beautiful location. We don't have an oceanfront view, but we do have the tropical view, which basically is overlooking kind of the jungle backside of the resort. And
they will have seen all that.
The mangroves are there. So
as you saw in the room reveal.
What I wanted to say about the bracelets is on the front side is the Hilton emblem. And if you flip your bracelet over, there's going to be the QR code. You can see here. And I can't quite, we're using a new camera. That's the QR code for the resort. And you can go on that, click on the QR code to get a link to see the entertainment, activities, the restaurant menus, make reservations. What else?
Yeah, that's kind of it. It tells you what's going on, and it records your reservations to remind you.
Okay, so after we checked in, we immediately did make reservations for the next 3 nights that we were here for dinner, and I highly recommend that because we were unable to get a reservation for dinner yesterday, the day that we arrived, because they were already booked. They were totally full, all the restaurants that are open tonight. So tonight will be a buffet night, I believe, for dinner. We had a great buffet breakfast this morning. Hopefully the dinner options are as good.
If we are going, the video that we release next week is going to be a video about the food here. So that will be a separate video. If we don't talk as much about the restaurants, we're going to have a separate video that's going to feature every restaurant and every buffet at the resort.
So
yeah, the walls are very thin. So last night was rough. I would say that we're on the 4th floor, and as we probably edited it out, but there isn't a lot of traffic on this road below us that I'm going to show you. I mean, you saw it. I'm not going to move this because Angie has it set up, but we'll intersplice some footage of it. There's not a lot of traffic, but at night when everything else is quieter, if a truck or a car goes by, you definitely hear it. With the doors closed to the patio, you still hear it. And last night, the person in the adjoining suite, he came in and he had imbibed too much and he was puking. And then he fell asleep with the TV. I don't know what the TV volume was on, but I could hear every word spoken by every person on that TV. And eventually I had to leave our hotel at like 2:30 in the morning and knock on the door. He had fallen asleep and I had to knock really loud to wake him up to ask him to turn off the TV. So I would say the walls are very thin, and part of that is the adjoining room situation.
I think at this point we just can't even look at it, or it would be too, like, not only there's no going back.
That's a really valuable niche there, right? You found the house, right? Right. It almost becomes irrelevant to be like, because my friend Michelle, she sometimes really gets down, but she just really like every day. Now she's got better about it, but
is there an alarm going off?
So now we have a situation where this is the opposite door we showed you before, and whoever's staying in that room, their alarm on their phone is going off, and I don't think they're there.
And I would also like to point out that the door to the rooms really is very loud when it closes. So do your neighbors, and by that I mean anybody above, below, or anywhere near you, a favor. When you close the door, try to hold it from slamming because they are super heavy doors and really loud when they close. You can hear them, other doors closing in the hallway every time they close.
Absolutely. Not enhanced. No, I would say that the bed is people. I like a sturdy mattress. I don't like a soft mattress. So I would say the mattress was good. The pillows are not great. I wouldn't say they're the pillow nuggets that you get in some low quality hotels, but for what purports to be a 5-star hotel, I would say the pillows aren't quite up to what you would expect in a high
I would
level
agree with
hotel.
that. I'm not as picky on the mattress. It is firm-ish.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm also not as picky about the pillows. It was fine for me, but those things are more important to Jim. So if they're very important to you, just something to take note of. Also, hair. Men, if you've got long hair, you might want to be rocking a man bun like Jim.
Oh yeah.
Ladies, you see the braid? That is purposeful today because last night was. Did you hear that animal?
I did. Yeah.
My point is, if you're planning on spending a lot of time doing a nice blowout for your hair and stuff, and then you're going out to dinner, unless you're eating in the hotel and you don't step outside to go from one port of the resort to another, you're going to be blown away. And I mean blown away. So think about what you're going to be doing in terms of dress code and hair or whatever. I would tie all that down.
Yes. And I wouldn't be, there's some uneven, first of all,
So let me say one more thing
yes, okay,
about dress
sure,
code.
absolutely.
It's also very casual. I didn't see men, usually a lot of times you don't see men as dressy as the women that they may be with, but I didn't see cocktail dresses and stilettos except for one at the lobby bar. There was like a couple people like that, but generally it's very casual. And again, it's largely stone and tiled in and outside the resort. So ladies, I would pass on the heels. Even with my flats on at breakfast, it was a little dicey because I didn't have great tread on the bottom of my shoes. So
ladies, let me give you a guy's opinion. Just pass on the heels forever. At one point, some sick guy in history decided to play some sort of joke and get women to wear these incredibly
men used to wear heels.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's just like no guy in history has ever said, "Oh, look at that! Look at those heels." No,
I know. I disagree with that.
no guy that I know, and I know all the cool guys.
Okay.
So it's just be comfortable. That's what's sexy, being comfortable.
So the dress code is really pretty casual. Dresses, sundresses, shorts. There were people wearing everything. Jeans. It's a very laid back, casual resort in that respect.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, what's our next topic for our 24-hour recap?
We are going to show you some footage of the gym, which we haven't been to. Also, I'd like to point out something if you're new to the channel. Correct, we are not showered. If you're looking for a channel where people get all done up and made up and toodalooed for the camera, that's just not going to be us. We prefer to keep it real.
I'm unbelievably sleep deprived right now, hence the bags under my eyes.
Okay, we'll show you the gym now.
Yep.
Press than I can do, because that'll be embarrassing. And we got a spin class action here. We got some stretch balls. This is one of my Planet Fitness friends. You know I'm about to use that. And here's the jump thing. So I'm going to show you guys how you jump up onto this. We're running a little low on battery. Maybe I shouldn't do that right now. And ESPN on there. Plenty of free weights. Particularly for arm day, which is what I have today. Kinds of cardio. Yeah, this is pretty good. Maybe there's some Vegas hotels that are a little bit, even if you want to do the Tour de France style, you can. Got the ropes. Rowing machine, chest back day, that's a good warm-up. And look at this hot piece of, oh wait, no, that's my wife, hey.
Is this the welcome drink?
Yes, it's a welcome drink.
What is it called?
It's the cranberry juice, hibiscus, apple, and cinnamon. The welcome drinks. It's only juice. It's no alcohol.
Okay.
It's apple, and this is cinnamon.
Yes, that was a non-alcoholic welcome drink, which we were not anticipating and have never seen before, but we've never been in a family resort before. I can see why they would judge this 5 stars by the lobby, though. It is very, very beautiful and has a great view in the middle of the sea. But let's move on to the sargassum situation.
So here comes the sargassum tractor. It's not too bad right now. We've seen so much worse when we've been here in the past, but this is how they clean it up. And we've only been here not even 24 hours, so we're not sure how frequently they do this, but we didn't see it anytime after 4 p.m. yesterday. There's a little warning sign here. Apparently, be careful of the crocodiles.
Crocodilo.
The stingrays.
And much more important,
and the jellyfish.
Later on in this video, we are going to be covering the stage shows for entertainment, but they also have other entertainment. This is a Latin band that's playing outside in the designated smoking area, and usually there was a band or a DJ. In the lobby, you can see she's playing the guitar. So that was going on. Other days, they have a marketplace both by the pool and in the lobby where they try to get you to buy things, but I certainly didn't have any interest in that. I felt a little sorry for this guitar player because there wasn't much of an audience paying attention. As you will see, most people gravitated towards the lobby bar right here, which is hopping at night.
If you have specific questions to ask, AI-generated videos are not going to be able to answer those specific things in all cases if they haven't actually stayed on the property. Jim, do you have anything to add?
First of all, we respond to every comment and answer every question that you put on the YouTube video. So please do it. I would say that it is very cost effective. You can use AI and make a video for a resort that you have never been to. It's pretty easy for you to tell. If you don't see the person in the video, they were not there. Now, for people like us who travel...
Also, the voice is a giveaway sometimes.
Yeah, so when you've seen enough AI videos as we have, you start to realize almost instantly what you're looking at. Here's an example of how we got messed with due to an AI video. Like I say, they can be informative in terms of relaying facts, but most of those facts you can find on the internet on your own. But we watched a preview video of this hotel that said there were 4 pools. We could only locate 2 pools. This is the quiet pool that you see right here, and they also have one that's a family pool that they have some mild activities and stuff like that, and that's a little bit louder. We got lost looking for the 4 and actually wound up at the Waldorf Astoria. And I realized that what they must have done is looked at the map and seen these other 2 pools, which are in fact not part of Hilton, and you do not have access to them. We only make reviews if we'd stayed there for 3 or more nights. And in the case of this one and the next one, it will be 5 days that we have stayed at each one of them. So we will let you know that. Another thing I want to say is the good, the bad, and the ugly when we do those type of titles. This is going to be good, some and some ugly, but we recognize, because we have paid for a YouTube training course, that that is not the smartest move for YouTube content creators.
Right.
You will notice that there are some channels that have a lot of appealing things about them, but every single place they go is absolutely awesome.
In every aspect.
In every aspect, and they have nothing negative to say. That is purposeful. Those videos play better. Those videos get more subscribers. And we know that, but the reason we're not doing that is we just don't want to do that. There needs...
We want to give an honest, genuine review of what it's really like so that you can capitalize that and use that information when you're deciding where to book.
We've noticed that the videos that help us the most are the honest reviews. We've also noticed those have less views and less subscribers generated, but if that's not going to play, we don't want to do it at all. We want to be helpful to you. And so we're going to start with the Hilton Cancun All-Inclusive
Resort.
5-star resort. We will start with the positive, and one of the positives is what you're looking at right now, the room.
It's a great, spacious room. It's very modern. I think this hotel was built only maybe 4 years ago. We'll check that out and put up the year. I think it was 2021. Very modern, very sleek, very spacious. The bathroom is super nice. The bed was, I think, relatively comfortable.
Yeah. Okay, another positive I want to point out is you will see a lot of American Express members heading to Hilton because they have figured out how to double dip with the Amex Platinum. And that was a good thing. I would call that a good in the deal that we got, because yes, this was $1,000 for 5 days, but we did get the once a year $200 discount for the Hilton luxury Caribbean hotels. And we waited till we had a chance to double dip by also getting an Expedia 15% off booking. And so we got $350 back from American Express. But in addition to that, because we have status with Expedia, we were able to get that $1,000 rate is actually less than I heard other people saying they're paying here. So, and speaking of that, if you are not, if you're a regular listener, you've probably got Expedia status. But if you're not, we can send you links to use our status when booking a hotel. And we just had a guy report to us that he got $738 cheaper than what Expedia was originally offering.
Love to hear that.
So I would say that the deal that we got was the positive. And another positive that I would call a good is the staff.
Mm-hmm. The staff is very gracious. They bend over backwards to get you whatever it is that you want or that you need. And I mean all of the staff from head to toe. So again, aside from the little snafu at the front desk when we checked in, and again, she was a trainee, there was some extenuating circumstances there. And I would say this is generally true at most of the resorts we've been to in Mexico, and this one is no exception to that rule. The service is very good.
What sets this Hilton apart is besides the front desk, and I noticed that yesterday they had added 2 more front desk employees. But before we stayed here, we saw a lot of people commenting on how long it took to check in. Mm-hmm. But at the restaurants, the service-related employees, they have an enormous amount of them. And even though Mexican resorts have good employees, we have run into situations where they were very short-staffed.
Right.
That's not the case here. Okay, so instead of calling it the bad, let's talk about the we did mention in the day one recap how long it is to get to the hotel, even once you've come in the entrance. We did, as promised, time that. It was 15 minutes and change. The exact stopwatch thing I'll put up here.
And let's clarify, what he means is from the main road, which is, I believe, Route 307, coming in from the airport, down the coast from the airport. He means to get from the main road to the resort, because you take a left-hand turn and you go for a long time.
Yeah, it says Hilton, and you're like, oh, you're here. Well, you're not quite here. Angie did a separate timing that didn't include the wait to get through security, and that was a little under 13 minutes. So if there's no line at security, you can get there in about 13 minutes.
And we've come and gone several times from the resort, I think only the once was there actually a line, right?
Yeah. And the other thing, the reason I say this is not because it's the worst thing to do 13 minutes. By the way, that's the other thing about giving people, so they can get the most out of their vacation, complaints about resorts. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through that at a resort in Cancun. We understand that. We just want you to have the best possible time. But the reason we say that is we get questions all the time. Hey, because you know, if you go to a Sundries or a convenience store inside a hotel, it's always incredibly expensive, and it is here. They're like, hey, how close is there a pharmacy? How close is there this or that?
If I forget my sunblock and I walk across the street.
Yeah, the answer is not close.
And that's why we bring up this point of how far the resort is from the main road. There is nothing here. If you're not getting something in the resort, unless you take a cab or an Uber or something out of here, you're not getting anything from a convenience store or a gas station or anything like that.
And Ubers, because of the cartel down here, you can get an Uber, but it's difficult. So mostly it's cabs and it's exorbitant. So I would say one of the things that I thought would go under the good, because everybody commented it on, is the specialty drinks. But I would say they're in the
I would agree. I have not been impressed with the drinks. I don't drink a lot of cocktails, but when I do, I have ones that I think are great. There's been one drink that I've had over and over here because it was the one drink I thought was really good. And that was the passion fruit margarita.
Yeah,
again.
And somebody suggested a lemon drop. It was good. They also suggest when you get frozen margaritas or pina coladas or daiquiris or any of that, ask for extra ice because they do come a little bit watery.
And it's warm here, so stuff melts quickly. And that goes for the white wine and the Prosecco and things that should be served chilled as well.
Now the food, I would also put under the some of the food's been very good, some not so much, but we are going to do a separate video that covers every single restaurant. You're going to see all the bars, you're going to see all the grills, all that kind of stuff.
And I feel like that in this video, that's more important than in any place that we've stayed. Because there are some things that are really good, and there are some things that,
Yes, especially for a 5-star hotel. We stayed at 4-star hotels like Temptation, Royalton Chic, where the food was better, and the last 5-star hotel we stayed at, Rio Palace Las Americas, I thought the food was much better than here.
Yes, I would, and I would agree that the other, I don't know about Royalton, but definitely I think Temptation has really good food.
Yes.
And I don't understand any real complaints about the food there. I think it's better than some of these 5-star places that we've been.
One last thing that we're going to cover in another video is normally, because we're adults, we do adults only, but we found that people in our channel are asking about family resorts. So this resort and the next one we're staying at, Dream Sands, are family resorts. And so we're going to judge which one is a better family resort and do a video on that. I would say there were some things that are very good for being a family, and then things that made us kind of go, huh? So we'll get to that. If you want to see that, we'll have a separate video on that.
But specific to this hotel and resort, I did ask Jim the other night, I was concerned coming into a family resort that there was going to be, just the overall vibe would not be as good because of kids screaming, when you're trying to eat and all of that. I haven't found that to be super distracting. I was prepared to like that a lot less and maybe be bothered by it, but I haven't been, so I think that goes in the plus column. Jim, what do you think about that?
Well, I would say this. The fact that it is a family resort and how good it is but we might as well transition into the ugly, because it leads to the ugliest part, the worst part of this resort, in my opinion, is the thin walls and the fact that because it's a family resort and parents want to have a room and then have their kids adjoining, there are doors in between the rooms. We talked about on day one, I had to get up in the middle of the night and knock on the door. We heard a guy puking. I turned the camera off, and I should have kept it running because I actually responded to a question she asked of her friend.
And she said,
and then she said, wait, what did you say? And I had to repeat what I said.
Okay, so the next thing we'd like to talk about is the beach and the pools. If you're a beach person, this is probably not the place for you. It is a very narrow beach, and There's some sargassum. They're cleaning it up. I have no issues with the
Nothing they can
cleanup
do
for
about that.
Yeah, I mean, that happens and they're on it, so that's good. But the beach itself is very narrow. I don't think I saw any beach chairs on the beach.
There'd be nowhere to put them.
It's very little distance between the hotel and the water. It's also, along this stretch of the Yucatan, the beach can be so different from just one resort to the next. It can be clear and calm, or it can be really wavy and kind of murky because of the sand getting kicked up. And at least at this visit that we've had here, the beach has been not smooth and clear. Yeah.
But Angie, you also was not a huge fan of the pool.
I can't pinpoint it. They're beautiful, especially at night, the way they have everything lit up. The pools are also very narrow. They're seating on either side. They're kind of elongated, more of an oval shape. I don't know. It just it wasn't usually during the day at a pool at a resort. There's more of like a party vibe where strangers are just talking and meeting each other, and I didn't really get that vibe. Maybe today will be different.
The pool, the water was a little murky, which I guess can be expected, but not nearly as murky as the hot tubs.
The jacuzzis.
We rarely saw people in a jacuzzi tub, and when you look at this part of the video, you will see why. The jacuzzi is dark.
There's multiple jacuzzis, but they were all, they appeared to have films of sunblock, and I didn't have any desire to get in one of those.
So overall, if you've seen our videos on retirement travel, we love the Hyatt Rewards program. We love IHG. We've gotten so many free Bonvoy nights in Vegas. It's crazy. Hilton is difficult because one of our subscribers wanted the Hilton credit card because they couldn't believe it was 175,000 points. That will not get you 2 nights at this hotel. Mm-hmm. So I would say that if you're trying to get status at Hilton because you travel for work or where your hometown is, you stay at Hilton's a lot, and you can double dip the Amex thing and another type of discount, that deal-wise, this is pretty good. Just temper your expectations. Calling this a 5-star hotel is a little bit of a stretch, and I have to say I would not return to this.
I also want to bring up the entertainment in terms of rating for a 5-star. I'm not sure that I would rank it there for entertainment.
We thought we were seeing a yacht rock show last night. It was called This Is It.
We didn't research
it's on us.
What This Is It
but
is.
This is it. Make no mistake. Make it right. We thought it was going to be Kenny Loggins, maybe a little Christopher Cross.
That would be good,
It's a kids resort. And then once again, for the 5,000s resort, it was a Michael Jackson show.
Which there is at every
Almost
resort
every
we've been
resort.
to, not Temptation,
And
but everywhere else.
Don't get me wrong. I knew every word to every song on Thriller.
It's very hard for me to contain my grooving because he was such a phenomenal
talented.
musician.
Other than Prince, nobody really compares to him talent-wise. But then we saw the documentary on HBO, and it's just startling to me that they would have children at a Michael Jackson show, who was such a predator. We as soon as we realized that it was only going to be Michael Jackson stuff, we went. So you're going to see some footage, but we just left. I think it's a bad choice in general.
It's as if no one else knows about the history of that.
I think it's also that when people
really
die
weird.
young, like Kobe, like whatever, we forgive the things that they did when they were alive, and their status gets really elevated. So yeah, I would definitely I would criticize that. So
To be fair, I'm inserting this footage because we did go to the Latino show on our last night, and it was, I want to say, better than the Michael Jackson concert, even though we left that right away. I was happy to see a slightly bigger crowd at the Latino show, so that means that parents may have seen that documentary and are doing their due diligence. There is a schedule board that's up on the wall in the lobby, so you can see every show that is tonight. Just be careful, that is not a Kenny Loggins show.
okay, so stay tuned in the next couple of weeks for our videos on covering the family aspect of it and what's available
for kids. Stay tuned for the video covering every restaurant and food and what else?
And we would really appreciate it if you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot to us and it helps our channel grow. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time on the 4 Chains Travel.